nice.
Oh,
Okay, so they...
Oh!
You get the gourd!
Oh, boy!
He gets his gourd!
Hey!
He gets his gourd!
Nice stood up.
Nice who's actually dapping the entire table.
Let's go. Big ups. Big ups.
Big ups, guys. Big ups.
All right, I'm gonna sit back down.
Wait, because I remember the gourd being a common response to the Fredrins back in the day, but
Yeah. So see, we're just a lot of throwbacks, but then with the presence of the Sora, I don't know how that's gonna go.
yeah, that's true. And the choke.
And okay, so okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gourd.
Either yeah. Oh my gourd.
say it. Oh my gourd.
Oh my gourd. Super Vance. Want to win without?
Creativity gets rewarded, as they say.
Dude, this is not the dark continent. This is the right continent. All right, welcome. Because here's one thing I will say about this, and I have done this in practice. Whoa, Kaloy. Okay, he should be fine. Typical start for Khalid. That's fine. But MP the King on the Harley and the Gourd actually will work synergistically really well together, because you even heard it from Carl TZ earlier on with a winning interview. That Genius One alone on the Harley is so good. So you already go ahead and get that first item. It allows Sean to actually pop off more damage because of that Genius One build on the Harley. So unless that's stopped, they might have a difficult time dealing with that kind of overload damage for this lineup from Twisted.
Yeah, and it's the athletic Gourd with the flicker. Kaloy taking way too much. Yeah, good thing for Kaloy is that the long time readjustment for the juice in. You can't just continuously putting stacks on people. If that was any different, then it would have been more difficult. But in the end, it is going to be difficult to handle the mid lane trading for the Khalid. You're just going to have to, you know, hunker down if you're Twisted Minds. You're not going to be able to get a lot of aggressive plays unless MP the King finds a good angle to Deadly Magic someone, either Light or you early on. 20 seconds before the next turtle spawns. Tough boots already for Kaloy should help him survive a little bit of the trades. Let's look at which EXP laner is going to hit level 4 first. Looks like it might be Edward, actually. But now in the bottom lane, Owl cutting behind the carry, because this is what Alter Ego loves to do. They'll cut this, and then they're going to ask Owl, most likely, to join the turtle fight. But let's see if he's just going to temper it and play it slow in the lane.
Oh, I think Sean had a bit of a
There he is.
swap in terms of the items he prioritized. He didn't seem to be picking up the boots earlier, but now we see almost all members right here across the turtle pit. Factory Descent coming in from Owl. Appraiser's Red also coming in, but it's MP who actually secures the turtle. And Sean with the Mystic Gush picking up first blood. Edward flickering out, still brought back. MP the King takes him down.
I just want to say first blood Gourd over to Sean.
Yeah, it's not just the Gourd with a Mystic Gush. Nice, who's gushing too with excitement. Seeing his signature pick here, but again, we saw it from the cut of Owl. We knew that he was going to go to the turtle. He joined that. That was 5v4. That's just simple maths. You know, 5v4.
Oh,
Win that.
Our camera's giving us the zoom in on the Patrick right there.
They're doing that on purpose, right?
Yeah, no, but I get your point here too, Renmar, and that's one of the things. Imagine if the timing was a little bit different on that too. He didn't have the level 4 either for that turtle fight to break out, but he had it right at the end.
Oh, wow,
Kaloy makes a call, and MP's there to follow. That's a flicker from Sean, just to extend the range of the Mystic Gush. They're still trying to go after Demon Kite. Another flicker burned, and that might just get punished here. Kaloy will try to get out of this. He does not get knocked up. He jumps back in, but Demon Kite will pick up the kill.
That's how you get punished if you get a little overzealous there, Kaloy.
Yeah, unfortunately also for Kaloy, the stun from Sean did not land, which is a little bit off to the right of Yue. Hence why the punish onto the Khalid. So, again, you pointed it out, that Gourd Harley damage is disgusting.
Yeah, and imagine he doesn't even have the Genius Wand yet. Now he does. Yeah. Okay, now he does.
Yeah, and yeah, they set up for each other. It's like, again, a throwback to having a magic damage jungler and then strong mage in the mid lane. They set up for one another depending who builds the Genius Wands first, usually the jungler, because that also applies to any magic damage that gets dealt with the reduction of the magic defense. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then he goes going on first to help with some of that sustainability that comes up with this lineup. So now we're going to see this fight, this time maybe be set up a little bit different around this turtle here. We'll see if gold laners decide to join this. It does look like Owl's coming up.
Oh, Owl might. Oh, that's the way of the dragon already used. Edward zoning out some other members, but Kaloy is still alive! Demon Kite this time, though, gets the objective, but it's Owl trying to go for the chase, and Demon Kite does not get out of this.
Okay, Turtle secured though. And that's a whole lot of gold to Dominkite.
Oh.
That is going to be the trade here. The Aurora are not going to be calling up their carry to join the Turtles. They just want gold for Doming. And this is as expected with the Freya carry matchup or any matchup in the gold lane that is Freya versus a marksman. Freya will leave lane, sacrificing the gold that he could be getting in the lane because they want to get that through the kills and objectives. The fortunate thing for Aurora in the last one is that it was actually Demonkite who won the Retribution battle, as the early use of the Deadly Magics was not enough to take down Edward, meaning Edward was still disruptive to the sequence of Twisted Minds. So Twisted also just need to mark some conditions properly here, because in the last one it was Aurora who were able to do that. However, the difficult thing about the lineup that they're going up against is that they'll keep feeling the presence of the Freya. So far, especially as we've seen from the last one, Aurora are managing their flickers and their dashaways pretty well. The last time we saw this was in the grand finals of season 13. 671. I'm not saying it, days ago. It was few against Team Liquid Philippines.
That's what I said, man. Few, one of the few players, pun intended, to pick up the gourd. And there is a reason for it. I mean, right now, we definitely have been talking about how it works well with the Harley. And it might be just the only composition where he actually fits into this, but it's really difficult in the current meta. Dominkite.
Oh, already flickering out, but the other members of Aurora are going to help. Raging Sandstorm used to get out, and so will be the Valkyrie Descent. Edward could have went for a setup there, but at least Twisted Minds are still okay.
Yeah, and no kick committal by Light. I thought he'd be looking for an angle.
Same.
Because of Aurora trying to bait Owl into getting taken out, good thing Aloy was there for Twisted Minds to cover him. MP the King actually gets a tower up top. So with a lot of the mobility on the side of Twisted, the map presence of the jungler and gold laner being felt, Aurora are slowly losing the map control. But they might be able to fight this better because Owl was brought low by Dominkite, excuse me.
Oh, Kaloy. Does he really want to fight against Dominkite? A miscalculation on Twisted Mind's side, and Aurora will secure this last turtle.
I think Kaloy forgot how much a carry hurts.
Yeah.
And Dominkite's just been farming up, so Dominkite is in a great position to just fight even a 1v1.
Yeah, even if you say that was Kaloy trying to buy time, maybe for the rest of the team, that was definitely not worth it. You gave a kill onto Doming. And now Twisted Minds have lost their early game window to dominate. They're going to have to play 50-50s all throughout.
Oh, everyone, they just poured all of their resources, and there's a flicker too. Sean is still going to be okay. No one's going to connect with the Way of the Dragon, but it doesn't matter for Aurora. They're already able to take down Kaloy, and they have access to this tier 1 in mid.
Great positioning from Light to decide to go towards the backside. He actually forced Sean to use the flicker, and then he was a threat enough, even on MP, as he kicked him, buying enough time for Aurora just to go ahead and win that team fight.
Yeah, big errors are now getting capitalized on by Aurora. Although for the last fight initiated by Twisted Minds, that wasn't an error in their part. That was a good call. But you just really have to admit that Aurora played that much better. Demonkite was calm, even though Lancer was the one able to pounce on him. Aurora separated that glue from the rest of the team. Even though Lancer was able to get away, Twisted Minds could not get any result that they wanted to get.
Yeah. It's twisted all over the map now. You can't go for your surprise plays anymore. It's Aurora that are first to show up.
Yeah. So quickly how this game turned around. Owl just up to 2 items. Dominkite with an EXP advantage to him. And he is almost up to the Trinity, already up to the Golden Staff and the Corrosion Scythe. So now it's just going to be up to Twisted to see how they can manage the team fights against Aurora better, because so far Dominkite has a lot of space.
Yeah.
Even though you get the Gush to come through, it's just a 1 flicker or 1 dash away.
Yeah.
And then that's fine. They have a very strong stalwart, or 2 of them actually, in the Sora and the Fredrin to hold the line to make sure that Dominkite has proper peel and then he can freely hit. So Twisted Minds need to find a good equation in the team fight.
Yeah, a couple Radiant armor is picked up here. Edward's got that now too. DHS locked in, so the Trinity for Dominkite. That's how he's been able to go ahead and farm up. So they have control around this Lord right now. Charm will pick up a Divine Glaive. We'll see if they can actually stop Aurora from taking this. Whoa,
Yue uses the Crimson Beacon. Oh my goodness.
That's a huge ultimate down though for Aurora.
Yeah, but also for Twisted, it depends on how fast the Deadly Magic can be back in time. But they can't also pounce on this. The minion wave's not just there yet for them. They can't capitalize on it. Edward's managing it in mid. They can't get a push in bot. MP the King still needs to get his buff, so it's just a big reset in the end.
That's what we were talking about in our last series, or the first series of the day, when we saw the Harley come through. Like, just the deadly magic alone is enough to go ahead and stop some teams in their tracks. And you saw it just there. Also, UA will pick up a Sky Piercer now after having that first item, that glowing wand.
Yeah, similar to how it was the Brody for Omega earlier, now it's the carry for Aurora. But at the same time, because of, as you just mentioned, the Sky Piercer for UA, they also have to be careful not to get stacks on this juice in. So Aurora actually secretly has two options, even though their lineup looks like it's only playing for one.
Oh, they want to commit.
Concealed from Light. He catches MP the King, but MP the King is going to be okay with his spaces. Edward with a 3-man setup. Kaloy falls down next. MP the King.
He's one
on
away.
The other side. He could not contest. And Demon Kite finds him, but can he escape? UA shuts him down.
UA knew where he was going. There's no tricks here.
That is now stacks for that juice in. And Twisted did everything right, but they just could not get Dom and Kite. And of course, the beautiful entry by Edward. Should be frustrating for Twisted after that initial start. They've lost every major sequence since then.
Yep, this is looking grim here for Twisted. They do have a pretty good clear with this base defense, but right now, RORA waiting for that lore to march in. They deal with the Holy Defense Shields already. Let's see what they decide to do. Light, just trying to test in the waters. The Lord will run and charge down to the bottom side. Demon Kite also jumps in, but a Mystic Gush will clear things out, and they should deal with the Lord here before the turret falls.
Okay, so actually, when it comes to trying to end the game, because of the Gord, it might be difficult for Twisted Minds in the long run. They might be able to drag this out a lot if they have good numbers.
Okay, well, it's another conceal from Light. They should be aware.
Light has no flicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the hard parts too. Your Domin Kite is your range, and he just doesn't have that much range on the carry. So they can't continue to get that turret.
Yeah, he is going for the last... actually, no, he's not going to be his last item. He's rushing the Malefic Gun for 4th. So that he does get the range that we have pointed out he is lacking. For Twisted, they just completely lost their early to mid-game window a long time ago. They're just really playing through the defense. The beauty of the Harley pick is, of course, you can just send MP the King out, see if he can just surprise Dominic or UA and build yourself an advantage. Might not have enough to completely take down Edward, who might be the next in terms of priority. Even Light cannot be single-handedly taken down by MP the King. He will need help from the rest of Twisted Minds. Just listing down here some potential turnaround conditions for Twisted through the Harley.
It's going to be tough if it's another similar situation to what we saw from TNC earlier, wherein you have a certain setup or a sequence that you should follow. And in this lineup of Twisted Minds, it seems to be the supposedly connection between the two mages of MP the King and Sean. But even before they're able to accomplish that, they have to worry about the setups again from Edward or Light just suddenly going in. And I think it's tough for Twisted Minds to pull off a similar play, because Kaloy, well, there is a flicker reaching Sandstorm setup, but then how could the others just confidently follow up? Because that'll expose a lot of the backlines.
Exactly. Yeah, this was also one of those games for Twisted. If that was 3 turtles to none, it would have looked completely different at Lord 1. But they just didn't get that. And then this is why earlier it still holds true. Twisted Minds have this great lineup for burst. They have great damage, but there's just so much tankiness on the side of Aurora that they have to find a way somehow to break this formation that's just so good, whether it's tight or split up.
Oh, the Lord's getting bursted down already. Dominkite secures it for the team. Light's already low, but look at UA! He tries to take down Sean. Successfully does, but he will go down too. MP the King outplaying Light, and Al White just gets to survive, but no! Dominkite still had the Appraiser's Wrath.
Both down by the Fragrant and Demon Kite. Letting Al know, nice try trying to take down Edward.
You don't touch a celebrity.
You don't. Perfect flicker forward by Yue with a Crimson Beacon up. Sky Piercer still impact, forcing Twisted Minds to go back every time that Juicin goes forward.
I loved the genius there from Yue to go ahead and just say, you know what? Here I am, here's my beacon, focus on me. That gave so much pressure to the back line where, it didn't have to just be Light or Edward to do that. So that was just a great choice of utilizing the beacon. Lord's going to charge in, take out that bottom base turret. And now Aurora finds themselves getting ready to march through the mid and possibly the top, managing these waves that are going to be pushing in.
Yeah, Twisted really just have to hunker down, hold the fort. Even a BFB for Demon Kite.
They're sinking the waves.
Nothing. Yeah, gonna be really difficult to take that Fredrin down, who's been the main guy to hold the line for Aurora. Hence why Demon Kite has no deaths. Force the Mystic Gush out. Skypiercer for Sean, so they're hoping for a miracle now to get a big swing. You do see the math. True damage, Skypiercer could be good. Let's all look back at the instant replay.
Yep.
So see, look how free Demon Kite was. So much attention pulled by the front line of Aurora that it was actually mainly through the carry that they were able to take it down. The perfect flicker forward. Yue was able to get 2 up, and then in the end it was just a futile attempt by Owl. Bonk.
Yeah. Could have been better if the space escape wasn't there for MP, because I think Yue thought it was just Sean. If it was, if he just got to isolate Sean, then he could have probably still survived that. But okay, now we're seeing still 50 seconds before the next Lord. Twisted Minds are gonna have such a hard time trying to even catch up in terms of farm at this point.
Yeah, they just want to basically have these successful base defenses until they actually win a decisive fight on the defense. Now, if we basically wait for that Lord to come up and find themselves in this position again, it's going to be more so the same thing. You can see that too. Yue went with a little bit of magic resistance. He picked up a Radiant Armor because he's most likely going to try to emulate what he did last time. He's going to throw himself forward, and even so with Light, you know, Light's going to be trying to do the same thing. He's got a good mix of the physical defense, also the magic resistance, but it's more so of like, if he's able to get the Way of the Dragon off, that might be mission accomplished for Light, and the rest of the team kind of just has to be there to clean up and finish the job at that point. So Lord is up now. Rora's going to go ahead and try to take some buffs or put some pressure there where they can, and they'll rotate down to the Lord. Edward cuts off this side of the map because he knows that's one of the angles they fought out in the previous fight. But RORA will still take their time with this because that's one thing. They know that Twisted has to fight frontal here. Look at the positioning from Light.
Yeah.
We've seen this before.
Winter Crown pickup for Yue as well.
For Yue, for Doming,
Light swinging
for
around.
Edward. That's 3 Winter Crowns on the side of Aurora.
Oh, Light. Did he get spotted out? Did Sean see him?
Typical Light plays from even when he was still in RSG. He loved finding these weird angles like this.
They're pushing it. Conceal used. He's going for MP.
Yep. The call is to go for MP as Demon Kite takes the objective. Another setup from Edward, bringing multiple members of Twisted Minds towards Aurora. It's MP and Sean who's taken down first. The knockups on Owl. He's not able to do anything. It's only Lansu and Kaloy.
RORA on the way, and I think this is game.
They have access to the base, and that's all Doming Kite needs to do. They have their minions, and they will get this game.